Hey everyone, it's LockhartQT here, and today we're diving deep into the brand new launch map for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, Terminus Island, also known in lore as Black Site 13. So if you're new around here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Perhaps even maybe follow me on X, as I do post on there, as I will be covering Black Ops 6 Zombies as well as Terminus, and I will be playing at day one, so stay focused on the channel for more content coming soon. So for Black Ops 6 we know we're getting two maps at launch, being Terminus as well as Liberty Falls, two maps taking place exactly at the same time in universe. And Terminus on paper kind of sounds like a mixture of Shinonuma and Zetsubo no Shima from Black Ops 3, as Zetsubo was also a dark, gloomy Japanese island, but Terminus may be unlike any map we've seen before. As we can see from the footage revealed so far from Treyarch, this island is divided into several distinct sections, including the main prison and a maze-like elevated platforms we can see. The setting is dark and eerie, adding to the intense atmosphere that will potentially make Terminus a really unique map. Now, one more thing I want to address is a really interesting theory. So Terminus we might have actually seen it before in Call of Duty, being COD World at War. If you didn't know, in World at War there was a map for multiplayer called Battery. A lot of people are looking at the layout of what we've seen for, because in the trailer there's like a panning shot which shows you the entire island, and apparently the map layout is either, very identical or similar to Battery from World at War. I mean, I can definitely see it. There's like a watchtower with like catwalks on the side. There's like a main bit with the cannon, and it looks very much like Battery. If this is the case, this will be like one of the first World at War remakes we've had in a while, especially within the Dark Ether storyline. Obviously we had Shinonuma within Vanguard, but I think this is the first time a multiplayer map for World at War has been remade probably since World at War, because back in World at War Treyarch would reuse assets from multiplayer maps for zombies, as the zombies team was a lot smaller back then. So if we get Battery come back, that's going to be really interesting. I want to see how they use the layout and the overall, I guess, floor plan of Battery for Terminus. I think that'd be a really cool idea. And we also know from leaks and rumours that the main storyline apparently will revolve about breaking our characters out of prison. I did recently on the channel a video talking about our brand new crew, which is obviously Weaver, Carver, Dr. Grey and a brand new character Maya, but apparently within the crew there's going to be a massive twist, being that two characters, Dr. Peck, who we met in Cold War, and the new character Maya, apparently won't see eye to eye, and apparently their conflicting intentions will add a layer of depth to the narrative, making the Easter egg even more, thrilling with the story, I guess. And speaking of Easter eggs, Terminus apparently is going to be a treasure trove for Easter eggs, with a main Easter egg quest and a ton of side Easter eggs to uncover. This map, apparently according to Treyarch, will promise endless hours of Easter egg hunting and discovery, which is something that I really love doing. I love the storyline, I love Easter eggs, and I love side quests. I think that's something that Modern Warfare 3 was sadly lacking, and I think Vanguard as well. So if Black Ops 6 really promises that going forward, then we've got nothing to worry about, hopefully. And like I said, obviously we're getting two maps, Liberty Falls and Terminus. Apparently this is actually meant to mirror Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. You see, in Black Ops 2 we had Transit, as well as all of the different side areas from Transit in Green Run, as well as Nuketown Zombies, and in Black Ops 3 we had Shadows of Evil and the Giant. Apparently Liberty Falls and Terminus are meant to be like that, where for example with Shadows of Evil was the much larger Easter egg story driven map, which is quite difficult for the casual audience, and then you had the Giant, which was a much smaller map that was a lot easier for the casual audience. And apparently Terminus and Liberty Falls are going to be just like that, with Terminus being the bigger, more complex, more difficult map, whereas Liberty Falls is going to be the sort of easier map, and we apparently know that from launch. And don't worry, I'll cover everything we know about Liberty Falls, which isn't too much to be fair, in its own separate video. And we also know that, going back to Easter eggs for a second, that we'll be seeing live gameplay of the map Terminus at COD Next in late August, which is a sort of live event where they're going to show us campaign, multiplayer, warzone, zombies, all that good stuff. And since content creators have actually been invited out and will get early access to the map, I really hope the Easter egg is actually turned off for them, as it just wouldn't be fair for the rest of the zombies community that aren't there to play it, especially for the day one Easter egg hunt and the race for world's first. I think giving content creators access to side Easter eggs and the Easter egg just isn't fair. I think, to be fair, I think having them play the map early is going to be, it's kind of not fair in of itself, but at the same time, I think giving them access to the Easter egg is going to be borderline cheating, and the rest of us just don't have a hope, so I really hope it's turned off. Terminus as a map is also said to bring a variety of zombie types to the table, including brand new ones designed specifically with the Omni movement exclusive to Black Ops 6 in mind. You see, Black Ops 6 is going to have a completely new movement system called Omni movement. Think Max Payne, for example. This is where you can sort of dive, roll, and jump in different directions. You can sprint in all directions, and apparently the zombies AI as well as the new enemy types have been designed specifically with Omni movement in mind, which is going to be really interesting to see how training will work and things like that. And we can see in the trailer that there are going to be hellhounds returning, as well as like these big boy zombies, which are probably going to be the more like tankier zombies. I don't know what their health's going to be like. I don't know if it's going to be like Brutus with Mob of the Dead, or maybe the Mangler and the Panzer, that sort of health where they're bullet sponges, but again, we'll have to wait and see. And one of the standout features is apparently going to be the giant turret that's located at the north end of the map. We actually see this in action in the trailer as it sucks up zombies in a very dark ether way, emitting a purple light, and is most likely a trap. As we can see in the game files that they were released for Cold War, they're actually leaking this map early. Apparently there is going to be a deck cannon trap, so it's got to be this one. The island itself is apparently going to be massive, again playing into that trope where Liberty Falls is going to be the smaller, easier map, and then Terminus is going to be the sort of bigger, more massive map, and apparently will include some incredible new features. Rumours suggest that actually one big feature is that you can actually drive a boat around the water surrounding the map, adding a new layer of mobility and strategy. This is going to be an interesting one, as we've never really seen vehicles in zombies before. The only, I guess, examples would be Outbreak and Modern Warfare 3, but in terms of round-based zombies, we've not really seen too many vehicles, if any at all, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this is handled. When I think of a boat in water in zombies, I always think of the boat there to take you to Pack-a-Punch in, do you guys remember like Rave in the Redwoods, where you had the boat you had to build and then it would take you to Pack-a-Punch? For some reason I think of that. If the boat is purely, used to go to another island, I think that's going to be fine. However, I think having a boat in the water could potentially break the game. It could potentially break the flow of zombies, unless there is something to counter it, like something in the water, maybe a shark that will come after you after a certain amount of time. Because think of it this way, you could have a crawler just jump in a boat and then just leave the map. You're essentially invulnerable until you get back onto land. So unless they implement something like something in the water that can kill you, or maybe fuel for the boat, again, we're gonna have to wait and see though. Apparently also the island itself is going to be massive and will include more features, including the fact that the starting area will be in the cell block, which again is giving me very much Zetsubo, Mob of the Dead vibes here, and apparently will be setting the stage for the breakout mission, because obviously the main story is going to be our breaking out these characters from prison. And yes, apparently there's going to be an underground area that serves as the prison as part of the map. Again, it's dark, it's creepy, and it's obviously going to be filled with perhaps loads of hidden Easter eggs and story elements of the Dark Ether storyline. Now, in the past, we've seen leaks and data mines from Terminus itself. Now, this it's one of those things. I know people don't like data mining and leaks, so if you want to, I guess just skip forward a couple minutes. But in Cold War, as well as Modern Warfare 3 and a little bit in Vanguard as well, in the data files people have actually found stuff pertaining specifically to Terminus and Liberty Falls. Apparently there's going to be on the map a massive canyon, as well as a new big boy zombie that I mentioned earlier, and obviously we're getting our brand new set crew on the map with unique dialogue, which is an absolute godsend. I'm thrilled that they're bringing back a set crew. But in terms of leaks specifically within the game files, we know that we've already had hints that the ray gun, the jet gun, as well as the KT-4 and the Masamune from Zetsubo, which was the main Easter egg of that map, you essentially, if you've never played Zetsubo, you essentially charge that gun up and it sort of shoots liquid, sort of similar to the Sliquifier from Die Rise, where zombies will slip and slide on the liquid, and then also they'll like turn into plants and explode and that sort of thing. And it was quite a cool weapon, especially for Zetsubo. It definitely fit in with that map. And like I said at the start of the video, if this map is indeed similar to Zetsubo in terms of layout and vibe and things like that, then I could definitely see the KT-4 making a return here. I think the KT-4 is a great weapon, so having it on a different map other than Zetsubo will be very interesting to see indeed. And also, like I said, we're potentially seeing the jet gun in Liberty Falls, so in terms of the Wunderwaffe or anything else, we're going to have to wait and see if any more are returning. But we've also seen files pertaining to a deck cannon trap that I mentioned earlier that we see in the footage, tentacle traps, which is going to be very interesting, as well as tentacle dogs of some kind. Apparently there's like files in the games pertaining to dogs covered in tentacles, which is very interesting indeed. And I think having, a prison island surrounded by water, very nautical themes, again, perhaps we could be seeing more things along those lines, with tentacles and fish and things like that. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see. So in terms of the map itself, sadly that's really all we know. Apparently Terminus is set to be one of the most complex and engaging maps in COD Zombies history. That's coming from Treyarch specifically. That's an exact quote from Treyarch. Apparently it's going to have a deep storyline, it's going to have new Easter eggs as well as new features. I'm really interested to see, what that cannon trap does, as well as if the KT-4 comes back in this map. But I'm even more interested to know if this map is going to be a remake or remaster of the World at War multiplayer map Battery, like I mentioned earlier. That's going to be really interesting to see, as we just haven't had a World at War map been remastered for zombies in a very long time. So it's going to be really interesting. I think a lot of people will say it's lazy, but I don't mind that sort of thing as long as it's done in a unique way and it's done well. At the end of the day, zombie fans have had it a bit rough over the past few years. Modern Warfare 3 and Vanguard were kind of disappointing, and then obviously Black Ops 4 as well was very mixed. And I think Cold War, I really liked Cold War, but I know Cold War also got a bit of a mixed reception, especially with Firebase C and Forsaken. So again, we're going to have to wait and see here, because I think Treyarch have been really cooking. Apparently Treyarch are really proud of zombies this year. They've come out saying that, gobblegums are coming back and other things are coming back. So again, we're going to have to wait and see, because obviously Black Ops 3 is the gold standard, and we're just going to have to wait and see if this map is indeed really good. So everyone, thank you so much for watching today, and stay tuned for more in-depth guides, gameplay, as well as Easter eggs when it comes to Terminus in the far future. I'll also be covering COD next with the gameplay, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Maybe hit the notification bell as well for all the latest updates. Thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you on the map Terminus when it comes out. Take care and have a great day. Bye.